Now on Sunday, Travis Reinking decided he wanted to barge into a Waffle House and start shooting his AR-15 at patrons. So when that happened, of course, he ended up killing 4 people. Now he would have he would have done even more damage had it not been for one specific patron, going by the name of James Shaw Jr. Now he is the restaurant patron who had disarmed the shooter and in the process saved a lot of lives. Now Shaw, turns out, was hiding in a restroom. He had hidden in that restroom when the shots began to ring out. While hiding, he found an opening, dashed out, wrestled the rifle from the gunman, then was able to get a hold of the rifle and threw it to another part of the restaurant, essentially disarming the shooter and making the shooter flee for his life. Now, at a news conference, of course, he told reporters after that, because he had gotten a lot of attention for this, and a lot of people were like, oh, he's a hero, he's a hero, he's a hero. Well, in this news conference, he says, no, I'm not a hero, I'm just doing what anybody would do. In fact, here's James Shaw Jr.
I'm just a regular person, and I think, anybody could have did what I did if they're just pushed in that kind of cage, and you have to either react or you're gonna fold. And I chose to react because I didn't see any other way of me living, and that's all I wanted to do. I just wanted to live. And I'll say it again, I didn't really fight that man to save everybody else. I know that might not be a popular thing, but I'm really honest. I'm gonna be honest to the core. I took the gun so I could get myself out. And then I went back for my friend after I was like, let me see if he's still alive, because it was just so fast. Like, I don't think I hope nobody ever has to be in those shoes again, but it was almost like light switch type fast. Like you hit a light switch and the light's on so fast, and you have to think.
Look, I love that this guy is keeping it absolutely 100. Hey man, look, I just wanted to live. I wasn't doing it for anybody else. I mean, in the end result, yeah, you ended up saving a lot of people's lives, but he's like, that's not what my thought was. My thought was, I want to live. I want to survive, and I'm going to do what I have to do. And I absolutely love that. He told reporters in another interview, quote, I figured if I was going to die, he was going to have to work for it. I was completely doing that to save myself. Again, I absolutely respect that, and actually do believe that he is a hero, contrary to what he has actually said. Look, man, again, you want to kill me? I'm going to make you work for it, okay? I'm going to fight for my own life. That is a man after my own heart. If I ever get into that situation, I'd like to think that would be my thought process. Knowing myself, I'd be like, yeah, I want to save my own ass. And if I end up saving other people, that's also great, but I'm going to do what I have to do to survive. That's this kind of person I am. Now, nonetheless, he saved lives. I believe he is a hero. Whether he believes it or not, as I said, he took action when no one else could or was able to. And, of course, that is at great risk to himself. And, again, what he did with a gun, tossing it instead of trying to use it against the gunman or whatever, was incredibly smart. And, look, think about it. I mean, if he had taken possession of that gun and the cops had come in, you knew he would be dead in a hot second. I mean, that's kind of how our country is, right? Black man, person of color, holding a gun? No, would not have happened. Look, black people get shot for holding a pipe. That's the reality of being black in America. And I know it's something that seems so incredibly outlandish when you come at it from for example, perspective of somebody who looks like me, but that's the truth of it. If he had been armed, a person of color, he'd be dead right now. Now, same thing about the shooter, Ryan King. Had he been a person of color, do you think that he'd be alive right now? Again, he was just taken by police. No, he wouldn't be alive right now. He'd be dead. That's the difference between being white and black in America. And look, I hope that this does not happen, but I hope that somebody does not go and decide to try to dig up dirt on this guy. Like, people from the right wing, anytime a person of color is involved in the news, they always got to dig something up. So I really hope that that does not happen. Because as I said before, this guy, to me, he did the right thing. He is a hero, and he saved more lives. And that should be respected, man. And again, I absolutely love this guy, and I love his honesty. Now, let me go to another angle on the story, and I think that's important, is good guy with a gun, right? Now, there was no good guy with a gun. There was obviously a good guy, but he did not have a gun. In fact, he burned his hands trying to wrestle that gun away because of the hot barrel after the gun had fired so many times. So, again, he put himself to great personal harm and actually did hurt himself doing this to save his life and, as a consequence, save other people's lives. Now, I'm sure that there are some people out there that would say, yeah, but if he had a gun, he'd have been able to stop it. Well, as I explained before, the cops come in, they don't know who's a good guy with a gun. So if this guy, an African-American man, armed, do you think he would have survived an encounter with police? No, absolutely not. No, he would have been shot immediately. Or there would have been people being killed in the crossfire before, even more so. And look, there's no guarantee that had he been armed, that he would have stopped the gunman before opening fire. Again, we don't know. But it's very unlikely. Because, look, they did, for example, tests where people are armed in classrooms where a gunman comes in unexpected. Most people couldn't even get the gun out of their holster before they were shot dead. And again, this is more of a simulation. But again, the whole thing wrecks the whole argument of, oh, there was only a good guy with a gun, because only a good guy with a gun stops a bad guy with a gun. No, it turns out that more guns do not help in that situation. Now, one more thing Shaw said. He said he feels bad he couldn't save even more lives. Couldn't save the 4 people who were killed. But here's the thing. You did more than anyone should ever have to do. I mean, you said it yourself. Nobody should have to be in that situation in the first place. And look, this is true like so many other random shootings here in America. This could have been prevented had we had better gun control laws, had we had a better way of keeping these weapons away from people who, in this case, was mentally unstable. He had some very big instability issues, right? And this is not to blame people with mental illness. This is to blame our fault with the system, right? Our system is woefully incomplete. And look, it's completely bought, in my opinion, by special interest money coming from the gun manufacturers, who is like, when you have shootings like this, and it scares people, and I understand that, it scares people into doing what? Into buying guns. So, a good guy with a gun argument, by the way, all that sounds like is just a way to sell 2 guns. And that's what it's all about. But look, if we had better gun control measures where they actually would either keep or destroy those weapons and not have given them back to the father who gave them back to the son, then in this case, this probably wouldn't have happened. However, we have a system that is corrupted. we have a system that is captured by special interest money. The NRA would have never allowed these weapons to be destroyed. Never. And that's how bad our gun culture in America has become. And that's how bad our corruption has become. When police are unable or unwilling to keep a dangerous weapon out of the hands of someone like this. But for James Shaw Jr., man, this man is a hero. But, like he said before, maybe we should be doing something a little bit more to make sure that we don't place regular people like Mr. Shaw into dangerous situations like these. Hey everybody, thanks for watching this video. If you want to see more like this, please hit the subscribe button below. And if you want to support truly independent progressive media, please consider becoming a patron at patreon.com/TYTNation.